Welcome to a new episode of Wout of the World. And this time we're in South America, still on a big world trip. And this city behind me is Rio de Janeiro, in Brazil.
Previously you saw us in nature paradise on the Galapagos Islands. And starting with a long flight, we embark on a 2-month journey in Brazil.
During our time in Rio, we're staying in a hostel called Tupiniquim, and it's in the middle of the urban area called Botafogo, with all the big sites of Rio nearby. And there's already one of them that can be spotted from the rooftop terrace.
This backpacker paradise is completely affordable. A lovely breakfast on the rooftop and a private room cost you about 25 bucks. And we can't wait to explore the city.
One thing that's super awesome about Rio is they have a perfect subway system. So you can get almost everywhere with the subway and it's not expensive.
Between 1822 and 1960, Rio used to be the capital of Brazil. Including the suburbs, Rio is home to about 13 million people. It has many different areas, each with their own history and culture, all surrounded by the stunning green mountain landscape.
We start the day with a must-visit in Rio, and for that we had to go to Santa Teresa, a district with a special phenomenon. We're going to ride a little yellow, bright, antique tram, and it happens to be the oldest tram line in the world, which has been driving continuously since 1877. And it's going to ride over this bridge, and I'm going to be in it.
Did I mention that Jens is totally crazy about trains? So for him, but also for us, this tram ride through time is a must. The tram ride takes about an hour and cost us 20 reais, which is about 4 bucks. A real bargain. The area of the tram station has some interesting sights as well.
We continue our little stroll through the neighborhood of Santa Teresa to find another icon of the city, the Escadaria Selarón. And I think the name doesn't say much, but if you see it, you know what I mean. It's the colorful steps of Rio.
What a shame it turns out that we aren't the only people checking out the stairs today. All kidding aside, this must be the most popular photo spot of Rio.
Well, the stairs are incredibly beautiful. Right, Jens?
My arm, kijk!
Today it's time for one of the real highlights of Rio. Literally, because this here on the mountaintop is Cristo Redentor, Christ the Redeemer. And for me this is extra special because after the Taj Mahal, the Chinese Wall, Chichen Itza, the Colosseum, Petra and Machu Picchu, this is for me number 7. It's a world wonder and it's the last one I still had to visit. Isn't he pretty?
You can go up by this historic red train, but on busy days it's a lot faster to take a taxi and a bus. And that's what we do. Then just a little more stairs and oh guys, just look at this. Between 1922 and 1931, it took the Brazilians 9 years to build this 30-meter tall statue on this extraordinary location. From Corcovado's mountaintop at 700 meters, he's looking down over the complete area.
One thing that doesn't have to be expensive in Rio is food. You can eat at the side of the road, where the kitchen is inside and you just sit on the curb. And for like 10 bucks you have a whole table full of food and you share everything. So that's for the 3 of us. And the beers we also share because they're always this size. My size.
Time to take the bus for a change, to another top side of the city.
It's a lovely day and today we visit the Botanical Garden of Rio, the Jardim Botânico. And originally, in 1808, this was established as the private herb garden of the Portuguese king. Now it's one of the main attractions for visitors and you can see the entire Brazilian plant world inside. So let's take a little stroll.
The nature is great and all, but the real show is given away by these little monkeys.
On our way back to town we stop at Parque Lage, which is like a city park, but if you're inside it, it feels like you're in the Amazon, deep down in the jungle, with the tall trees, caves, some animals, a day of fun, and it's free. Mooi, Jens.
Almost every area has its own football club, and today ours, Botafogo, is playing. All the restaurants are broadcasting on big screens, and luckily they managed to win by 1-0. Yay!
Wow guys, this has been a while. We're in a dormitory with 2 bunk beds. We're in Hostel Cabana Copa, which is in Copacabana, funny name. And I think I'm gonna take this bed, while Jens has already claimed this one. He's watching a movie. Don't fall asleep.
The 2 most famous beaches in Rio are Ipanema and Copacabana. While Ipanema is popular for the rich and famous from all over the world, Copacabana is a beach more for everyone. The 2.5-mile stretch of sand and its broad boulevard might just make this beach the most famous one in the world.
Today we're doing a site that's in walking distance from Botafogo. And the thing behind me is the cable car to the Sugarloaf Mountain. This big mountain has a great view over Rio and this cable car is about 1400 meters long. It's a true icon of Rio that's more than 100 years old.
After breakfast we decide to take an Uber, which is super cheap here by the way. In no time we arrive at the cable car and we're going up.
The first cable car took us to Morro da Urca, but we go on to the next one, to Morro da Pau de Açúcar, which is the Sugar Bread Mountain, the spectacular one behind me. So we were standing on the middle of the Sugarloaf Mountain, and then we realized that our bus was almost leaving on the other side of Rio. So we took an Uber, another Uber, running at the bus station, and we made it just in time. So we're going to Cabo Frio, and I'll see you in the next episode, because we're going to be in Brazil for a very long time. Box.
En echt waar jongens, het wordt alleen maar beter. In Cabo Frio is het water bizar blauw. We ontmoeten Spider-Man, varen naar tropische eilanden, encounter many new animals and swim on the top of a skyscraper. And then we visit Fernando de Noronha, this super small remote island about 250 miles off the coast. Subscribe, keep following our travels, and I'll see you soon. Ciao!